Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Showtime. We know what we gotta do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down.
The after-checks are lit. Don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
That flag has been ended.
Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You gotta say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
You gotta earn this thing right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Start your engines!
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
We now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
high pressure, high stakes. It feels like the whole world's watching every move that I make. Another sunrise, another warning, but I'm still learning how to hold the line, how to quiet down the noise inside. And the moments slip away when I forget what I need. So I steady up my hands, let the rhythm set me free. I remember to breathe when the whole world shakes me down. Clear mind, finally free. I won't break, I won't bow. I'm holding on. Yeah, I'm stronger than I seem. I remember to breathe.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into Season 2 of High Side Motorsports for Round 9 this evening as we go racing for the Retro 130, brought to you by Showtime out at Richmond Raceway. It's Hamish Munro here with you, bringing all the action through sight and sound for the next 130 miles in the next 90 minutes or so. We will be going racing around the wondrous short track that is Richmond Raceway. It is time for the semi-final of the in-season tournament. There are 3 regular rounds to go before the chase begins in only a couple of weeks' time, and we'll show you where we are for this point of the season, of course. Looking at the calendar, it is the Showtime Retro 130 tonight. 175 laps stage, blend at lap 70. It's 130 miles we'll be doing here out at Richmond. Next week will be the final of the in-season tournament at Homestead Miami Speedway, the Frogman 150 for 100 laps the stage. We'll end at lap 40, and then the regular season ends the week after, August 2nd. Round 11, the Rocket City 170 for Talladega Super Speedway for 65 laps the stage at lap 30 as well. And we're excited for that chase to begin, and we're excited to get out to the Charlotte Classic at the end of the season as well. Of course, 100 laps there, 30 and 80 will mark the stage end for that event as well. Looking at the current championship standings, Kevin Rinker has dropped some points after last week's debacle on the road course at Sonoma. He's on 399 points to the 325, currently held by William McKellar. A strong run tonight for Kevin can actually lock him in to the chase with only 2 rounds to go this season. Not only that, does he have to try and contest with that, he has to try and contest with his teammate Mike Rinker as they battle it out inside the in-season tournament. And this is it, the semi-final, grand finale next week. It comes down to 3 325 drivers and a solitary Infinity Motorsports driver in Zach Smathers. Kevin Rinker will take on his team boss Mike Rinker on the A side of the block, and Will McKellar will take on Zach Smathers on the B side. There's one guarantee: there will at least be one 325 racing car in the final next week at Homestead. Will there be 2, or will it be a 325 racing versus Infinity Motorsports battle for the ages next time out? Time will tell for you as we prepare ourselves for what's to come after qualifying and in towards the racing action here tonight as well. This is going to be a very, very special evening. One that we are looking forward to, of course. A little piece of housekeeping, though, that we have to mention here just quickly. Unfortunately, there's been a slight change within the league over the last week or so, and going forward, it will actually bring quite a significant effect to the series as well. The unfortunate thing is Zach Smathers, unfortunately, he's had to step away from being an admin of the series, and will actually, if he does not make it past the semi-final tonight at the in-season tournament, will be stepping away for a little while from racing here in the series. He's got some things going on in his personal life that he's having to take time to deal with, and that means that racing is going to have to take a back step and take the back foot on that one as well. So we wish Zach all the best in that, and we wish him all the luck as well, and we give him our thoughts, our hopes as well, that he can return to on-track action with us again in future as well. And if this is the last time we see him for a little while, then we're going to miss him dearly. Of course, if he does win the semi-final tonight, he has committed to racing next week at Homestead, but I don't believe he'll be racing any further past then at this stage of things. So we look forward to seeing what can happen. We wish him the best of luck, of course, and we are now excited to see what happens here in lone qualifying for the Retro 130 tonight. Charles Rinker, well, he's got a little bit of work to do out there, of course. He's one of those championship contenders right now, and we looked at the championship standings and the fact that Winker's winning at this stage. Now, remember as well, points will be reset when we actually get into the chase. They'll all go on to equal points, relatively speaking. And they just sort of got stage wins, and they're going to get bonuses. They're going to get bonuses on top of their points for their stage wins, and that's going to be very, very important come this chase. So that's going to offer them a little bit of extra as first qualifying times are coming in. Magnus Anderson has gone to the top, and Nick Mercero has just pipped him for pole position at this stage. Mike Rinker goes to P3, but Magnus now in the Hooters entry. It is retro round tonight, so some retro liveries out there. Magnus will respond, goes up to P1 once again. Justin Day into P3 now. Charles Rinker finds the pace that he needed into P3. Winker just beats out Mike Rinker at this stage. Can Zach Smathers beat Will McKellar in qualifying to take first blood in that in-season tournament battle? No, he cannot, it seems. Unfortunately for Zach, but they're only 2 positions adrift of each other. So there is a little bit of time to be found. Steve Scarborough, P9 at the moment. Bailey Brannan, it's not set a time yet here in qualifying. Let's see if the man that orders a vanilla latte can get himself a positive performance here in qualifying for Bailey Brannan. Across the line he goes. Where will that place him? It's not actually a lap that's counted at this stage of qualifying, so he's got to try and find some time here to put this all together. Zach Smathers has actually been separated from Will McKellar by his 2 of his teammates, Jesse James and Paul Harris, so both of those guys have picked him further back. Rob Stevens Jr., Todd Merkel, they've both now pipped Magnus Anderson in qualifying. Brandon finally finds the lap time he needs, goes up to P12 in a great effort. Nate Owen is currently sitting at the last of the cars to actually have a lap time that counted. John Roberts is waiting to go out on track. Same for Dalton Henson. Ryan Hatch has returned to the series this week as well. We'll see if he does put a qualifying time in. Blake Hullett too. He is within the session but has not completed a time here in qualifying as John Roberts will get himself going once again. This is going to be an enticing battle, a very interesting one all throughout the night for both sides of the block for the in-season tournament. And relatively speaking, both sets of drivers have qualified near each other. We look at Kevin Winker and Mike Rinker inside of the top 10. They're only separated by Justin Day at this stage, so that's going to put them close together. In fact, they're going to be lining up one in front of the other. Winker will line up right in front of Mike Rinker. But you know that as a team, they're going to work together for the majority of the race until they get past stage 1, and then it's going to be gloves off, and they're going to be battling it out. And then you look further down the order, and you find Will McKellar, Zach Smathers. Only 2 cars separate them, and it's 2 of Zach's teammates, Jesse James and Paul Harris. So that may give him some help and give him some advantage. We'll see how that pays out further down the order, though. And ironically, they've also got Brian Day just ahead of him. So the Days are involved in these in-season tournament battles, it seems, for tonight's race as well. If you're watching along with us too, hop into the chat with us. Let us know your thoughts and your feelings and who you want to be keeping an eye on here this evening, as Roberts is not able to better his time over 22.33 on that last attempt there. I believe that might be the end of everybody's qualifying, it seems. Dalton Henson, Ryan Hatch, Blake Hullett not taking part in the qualifying session. as we have a good look. Just see if there's any penalties. There is an EOL for the 87 of Blake Hullett, so he does actually have to start from the rear of the field. So that will bring a little bit of difficulty for Blake Hullett, it seems tonight. As qualifying has just gotten us finished up here in just a moment. It's going to be Rob Stevens Jr. who finds himself on pole position here today. Todd Merkel, what a lap time. The sole driver of that 1320 Motorsports team. Great effort in qualifying. P2 on the road. Seems to really gel with this Richmond Raceway circuit. Magnus Anderson, he's been strong. And again, the more race wins he gets, the more stage wins he gets. He's going to be in a much better position come chase time at the end of the season. That is really going to help him along the way. Starting grid, though, for tonight's race will be as follows. It'll be Rob Stevens Jr. starting ahead of Todd Merkel on the front row of the grid to row 2. We then find ourselves with Magnus Anderson and Nick Mercereau starting alongside each other. Some really, really nice retro liveries out there here this evening. And Nick's is looking very, very schmick there. The old Jeff Gordon paint is looking wonderful for Nick Mercereau. Charles Rinker alongside Kevin Winker out there in the McDonald's entry. It's a good-looking car as well for Kevin Winker. To row 4 in the top 8, Justin Day and Mike Rinker alongside each other, the 10 and the 9, finding it out for position on the 7th and the 8th row, or 7th and 8th position, on the grid. Row 5 in the top 10, Trey Martin will line up alongside Steve Scarborough for our top 10 here this evening. And behind them, we find Cody Pruitt and Bailey Brannon alongside each other for the top 12 to row 7. In the top 14, it is Austin Stamper and Brian Day starting alongside each other. In row 8, we then find Will McKellar, the other part of the in-season tournament. He'll start alongside Jesse James in the tied entry. And in behind, Paul Harris and Zach Smathers will line up alongside each other for our top 18. To row 10 in behind, it's Justin McCurdy and Damon Marotta alongside each other as we find row 11 and the top 22. It is Stephen Linger and Nate Owen in very similarly coloured liveries back there, actually, at the back end of the field. And then to row 12, we find John Roberts, Blake Hullett alongside each other for the top 24 before we get to Dalton Henson and Ryan Hatch in his return to the field. We'll start at a P26 here tonight out at Richmond. Great to have you all watching along with us. We want to see your excitement in the chat, your support as well for these drivers. Kelly Parker's already out there giving the support to Jesse James, so great to have you watching along with us, Kelly. Hope you enjoy it. I don't think Jesse's going to much enjoy tonight's race. He was talking to me pre-race. He is not a fan of this track. He was not excited for Richmond, and this is going to be one that may lead to some struggle for him, so he may need some consoling post-race, depending how this one goes. And if it goes great, then, well, he's going to be a spectacular feeling, but if it goes poorly, that is it's not going to be a very nice night for him out on track either. But still a pretty solid qualifying. I mean, P16, that's not too bad for a guy that's not very excited about racing here at Richmond, so this will lead to some very, very interesting moments tonight, I am sure. We see that Gatorade car of Robert Stevens Jr. for tonight's race. That is going to be the one that leads us off the line here. And it's a pretty sexy retro livery on board. There's some great looking retros out there. It seems to me the color of retro is orange amongst this field. So it's going to be very, very interesting how that will then lead to some good luck for some drivers. Yeah, got to keep the fingers crossed out there, Kelly, just in case he does have a good run. But yeah, he's not looking forward to it. Here's Mr. Jesse James, but he is in the tired livery, so hopefully he doesn't eat a Tide Pod. And he keeps his innards clean without that. As around we come, though, pace truck will come into pit lane. Rob Stevens Jr., Todd Merkel on the front row. Who is going to get the jump as we're racing? Green flag out at Richmond. 130 miles to go. First 70 laps for stage 1 is underway, and it's a really wide run for Todd Merkel. That is a horrid run through turn 1, turn 2. That's going to drop in positions early here. Rob Stevens, Magnus Anderson running together strong on the front end of the field. Charles Rinker, Justin Day. They've now already gotten past Merkel here, who is really struggling on that outside line. He's now finally got some pull from Rinker. Might get some push from Mercereau in only a few moments' time. But Merkel is really struggling back here. hold on to these positions. This is not a good start that he would have wanted for some solid points. Talking about good starts, so Will McKellar already up 3 spots here. And now into P11, as there's been a massive wreck in the background. Jesse James has gone into the wall, as has, I believe, Paul Harris, his teammate, and Damon Marotta. And this is not what we wanted to see very early on in this one. This is what happened to them. And this was further up, though, so actually, I have a feeling that Harris might have actually been one of the original reasons why we're actually under caution. So let's watch this here. So Harris riding along. He's fine, he's fine, he's fine. Tries to... What happened there? He tried to turn the corner. And as he's tried to turn in... Is that Marotta that's hit him? No, it's not Marotta that's actually hit him. It's the 70 of Brian Day. Let's go back and watch this back again. Because this is... So he turns in. And then Day just comes straight into the back of him. Nowhere to go. A massive early moment. I think Brian Day's going to have some answering to do for there. It makes him hit his own teammate as well. I think Brian Day may have a penalty coming his way there, because that was a very, very messy moment. It was all caused by that initial contact of Brian Day onto Harris. Wasn't much that Harris could do in that scenario, must be said. That's a messy, messy moment. And a messy incident, it must be said. So, yeah, really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate for Harris there. He will obviously have an opportunity to keep going now and push himself along. But not the start that he would have wanted. John Roberts, into pit lane now as well for a stop here. Marotta has gone a lap down, unfortunately. He was already in on lap 2. So he's now actually going to have to wait for his wave around. That's not the start. Not the start that those drivers wanted. Not the start to their race that they wanted either. And Brian, of course, wouldn't have wanted to make contact with Paul. That's a very unfortunate incident. Just wrong place, wrong time, I think, for both of them. Just a real shame for those guys. And the other difficulty is too for Smathers. He's now been dropped down 4 spots. He is 9 spots away, or more than 9 spots, sorry. He's now 12 spots away from his main competitor within the in-season tournament, Will McKellar. So he's going to have some work to do across the next 170-odd laps to try and contest with him and move on to Homestead next week if he wishes to. Rob Stevens Jr., Magnus Anderson, they will prepare themselves for this restart here. First caution of the race has been completed. Green flag is out once again as we begin lap 7 of 70. We are technically a 10th of the way towards the stage end. Unfortunately, we didn't get to last very long on that early run there. There was some unfortunate contact in towards turn 3. They brought some drivers around, but you can see Anderson's already putting the pressure here onto Stevens. Watch for Rinker as well in behind. Both of them want to sneak on by Rob Stevens Jr. as they look to line this up as best they can. You see them trying to run around the outside as Magnus Anderson now into the race lead. Can Charles Rinker follow him and get it up into P2 past Rob Stevens Jr.? Yes, he can. Stevens has to concede. Tucks in behind. And now pushes on, and the outside line is really starting to work for these drivers. Watch for Justin Day. And as well to Trey Martin in behind them. Just trying to push as much as they can. And find themselves the positioning and the pace that they need throughout this race here tonight. Bit of a wall touch there for Martin in the background. Keeps him alive, keeps him ticking over as McKellar is trying to seek some positions early here as well. See him just trying to sneak on forward. He's already up 6 spots in this race. Unbelievable run thus far for him. Scarborough and Hatch battling their way through the field. See the Hatch and Henson, they're already up 10 spots. They've actually worked together here to get themselves forward. It's been a great clean run for those guys very early on in this race. To make up some early spots, make them up relatively cleanly, not with any untoward, and racing the best that they possibly can. It's great to see. And we hope as well, obviously, that from Ryan's weeks away because of those penalties. And he may have actually had some thoughts about it. He nearly runs up the rear of Dalton Henson, though. Manages to avoid on the entry in towards turn 3. Will keep himself going. There you see as well, that is Austin Stamper going slow on the inside off of turn 4. So maybe a minor moment for Stamper. Has now dropped him some pace. You see Mercer OT, he's dropped down the order as well, outside of the top 10. Very interesting that he has dropped himself further back. I'm unsure why he's down 9, but definitely a big loss of pace has cost him early within this one. We'll see what the fuel strategy and the pit strategy is like for these drivers tonight as well. They can't go the stage length on the fuel. They're roughly about 16 laps short, actually. We'll see though what they strategize around, whether they try and go for a shorter fill and then push on from that, or if they maybe go for a longer fill, overfill for the next run, put some tyres on it, maybe pit a bit earlier and get an undercut made on the field around them. That could also be some sound strategy. And then what do you do for the rest of the race? It should be a 3-stopper throughout this one because of the stage break. Of course, you will stop and come in on the stage break under pace car on lap 71 roughly will be when the pit lane will open again. It's going to be an intriguing strategy battle and strategic battle for the whole field. Figuring out when they want to come in, when's the best time they could possibly come in. How's it going to work out for them as Charles Rinker now looks up the inside, trying to get past Magnus Anderson if he can. And just pushing, trying to put the pressure onto Magnus here as best as he can for Charles Rinker. He wants that second win this season. He already took one earlier on in the first half of the season. Can't quite get past the double winner in Magnus Anderson to this stage of the race. You see Rob Stevens Jr., he's sitting back nicely and behind them now as well. He's in a positive position, of course. He is down 2 technically off his start point, which was pole position. But remaining inside of the top 4, that can sometimes and often be one of the hardest things to do, especially around short tracks, especially in these shorter layout circuits. Those are the ones that can really test you in terms of remaining strong and remaining in a strong position, because there's such a short amount of space and short amount of time for you to try and maintain it and for you to try and stay up in that solid position that you want to be. You can see already, I mean, Todd Merkel, you see how quickly he's dropped. He's already down 4. It was off a simple mistake early in the race. He's dropped from P2 down all the way to as low as P6 when he was there. He has gotten back past Justin Day, but again, he's just struggling here to try and maintain this. We'll see what the field's like tonight. We know what the pit strategy should be. You know, they can only go as far as like 54. We'll see what the tyre strategy's like. When do you take the tyres? How bad are the tyres going to be? Are you going to be able to hang on to them? Can you keep the tyre wear in control? These are small little tidbits you've got to try and figure out. And one thing that I'm noticing further back in the field, I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, Zach Smathers has been slowly crawling his way forward. He's back up out of the depths of negative positions. And he's now on a net gain of 1 in this race. He's actually clawed his way back up to P17. He's still got those... he's actually gained 2 spots on McKellar. So he's now only 10 spots away from McKellar here, who's up into P7. Both of them running strong though. Great to see from the 2 B block side drivers in this tournament. We know, of course, that the A block winner and the B block winner go on to the final next week at Richmond, at Homestead, Miami, of course. The final of the World Cup, of course, was today, won by Spain for their second time in their history. Very interesting that they didn't win their first World Cup until 2010, and they won their second 16 years later. Only took them 4 more attempts to win their second. Unbelievable result for them. As Ryan Hatch has had a moment down at the Tri-Oval, it seems. He's off the road and onto the concrete. A very interesting moment here for Ryan Hatch. What has happened in his return tonight to put him there? Looks to be on his lonesome, gets it loose off of turn 4, crosses the grass, doesn't put it in the wall. Great save. Really, really well done. And then just tries to keep it on the straight and narrow. You see as well, Dalton Henson too is now under pressure here. Jesse James trying to come back at him. So So there's some big movers happening here. Bailey Brown and Mike Rinker, those guys are battling. Fantastic stuff to see, it must be said. And this is an intriguing one. This is a very, very intriguing one to keep our eye on throughout this race. All these battles that are happening, these guys are just trying to keep themselves clean, keep themselves clear, and put themselves in a solid position as the caution's back out again. Jesse James has had a moment. And this has now brought out the caution. Let's see what's happened here to James. It's coming through. I believe that was turn 4. Lost it on his own, unless there was big net code, because that has been a major problem with these cars as of late. The net code issues have been horrendous. There were some issues in another league over the weekend that really just had some very, very poor luck in terms of the net code being a factor. It's still being an issue here for the Gen 6 Cup car. It's still being an issue, it seems, and hopefully iRacing fix it. Cars are coming into pit lane. Who is going to stay out? Justin Day's going to stay out. Trey Martin's going to stay out here. Stamper, Scarborough, Smathers, they're all staying out. Everyone else is coming in to fuel themselves up to get to the stage end. Very, very interesting strategy. But I suppose as well, if you're going to roll the dice, you might as well roll it. There is no way to see. Those drivers have now prepared themselves to push on. And they come out of pit lane, but see there, the top 4, they've all decided to stay out here. Although, to be fair to Paul Harris and Zach Smathers, they both pitted on lap 3, so they've actually got a little bit of fuel on board the cars to go that bit further. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be enough to get them to the end of the race, of course. And we want to hear from you as well in the chat. We're going to be putting up a poll in a second on who you think is going to be which combo of the in-season tournament are we going to see in the final. Is it going to be the likes of Mike Rinker versus Will McKellar? Is it going to be Kevin Winker versus Will McKellar? Is it going to be Mike Rinker versus Zach Smathers? Or is it going to be Kevin Winker versus Zach Smathers? What is the combo we're going to see next week in the final of the in-season tournament? We know last season it went down to a little bit of controversy that actually gave us a 3-way dance that brought Kevin Winker back into the in-season tournament. And because of that, Kevin went on to win the in-season tournament because of the debacle that then gave us the 3-way dance to the final. And that was a very, very exciting affair to end out that tournament, of course. We want to see those votes. We want to see you all voting along with us. It is free to vote, of course. We've got 15 of you watching along with us as well, so we hope to have you all in the chat with us too, all throughout the race. It's going to be exciting stuff. We're going to get ready for this restart zone here. Justin Day, Trey Martin, Zach Smathers, Paul Harris, they have not pitted yet, and they're all trying to hold position and hold some track position here, importantly out at Richmond. As they push on, it's already a caution again, and look at this, it's a massive stack up further down the order. A massive stack up. 3 cars are stopped down there. Nate Owen, Stephen Linger, and that's Blake Hullett as well as Nick Mercero. They've all been slowed up further down the order. And they've all been held up down there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable timing for them to be caught out and caught up here in this sort of strategy play. hopefully this is not a sign of things to come. Hopefully for the drivers, this is going to be a swift restart. We're back to green flag running. I mean, we did well off the original restart on the first caution to get ourselves going again and go quite a fair way without needing another caution. I have the faith they may have the capabilities to be able to do it. I mean, they've done it before. They've already done it before today as well. We'll see if they're capable of doing it again here in this one. In fact, let's maybe get the thoughts of some of the drivers out there. Namely, the thoughts I want to ask of Zach Smathers. So let's see what he thinks as we'll move him down here for a quick chat with us as well. Let's bring him in here. Hello, Mr. Smathers. How are you? Mr. Smathers, do you have a copy in the booth with me?
Hello, Hamish.
Hello, welcome in. Wanted to bring you in for a quick chat, of course. I mean, a tough in-season tournament semi-final matchup for you, of course, today. Seem to be sticking to your strategy, not wanting to come in under that caution. How are you guys going to try and play this out now? Is it just going to be you're going to try and push on, or are you going to play these cautions by ear and maybe just switch up the strategy a little bit before the stage end?
I played it by ear. It just felt a little too early to come in. I know everybody behind us looks like they went and got tires, so it's going to be probably us falling back like a rock.
To
but
answer your question, they've all only taken fuel. There's only a few that have actually taken tires.
Wow, then we should be all right then.
Yeah.
I've got about 30 laps left, so we'll have to come in before stage, obviously, but
30 laps left now.
We're just going to play by ear and see if we can hang out up here.
Well, 30 more laps on fuel, that gets you just about to the stage end, so another caution, you might be good. So,
it might be good, so we're going to see. With the way, if Bailey misses another shift, it might be all right.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Zach. Thanks so much for coming over a quick chat to us. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, Hamish.
Well, we're restarted once again. Justin Day gets us back underway ahead of Trey Martin. Now Magnus Anderson will jump Smathers off the restart. Is now under some pressure here from Kevin Rinker. As Scarborough is dropping some spots further down the order as well. It's big pressure on the scramble of positions here. You can see those in-season tournament drivers, they're all just about in the top 10. McKellar's actually back in P11. But again, though, the strategy of playing it by ear, that could be the go. For those drivers that have stayed out, no one really has taken tyres, as we mentioned there in the interview with Mr. Smathers. I mean, oh no, but that's Todd Merkel. Todd Merkel's gone round. That's another caution. And that is going to be huge in terms of this fuel strategy. And in terms of drivers' strategies as well. So Merkel has gone around. Let's see what's happened here. So he was battling alongside Paul Harris. Harris has gotten loose off of turn 2 and has made the contact with Merkel. It's unfortunate. It's not an egregious incident, of course. He's just lost the rear and made some contact with Merkel. And there you see it. Boom, straight in the side of him, in the wall. Unfortunate for both of them. See a sympathy moment in the background as well for one of the drivers. You see that... of course, Justin Day now is in pit lane. So is Trey Martin. Paul Harris, Bailey Brannon, John Roberts, Nick Mercer, they're all in pit lane. Interestingly enough, Smathers has actually stayed out and has remained out on track here as well. So, interesting strategies being employed for some drivers all throughout this field. Let's find another one to bring in and have a quick chat to. Let's bring in Mr. Brannon since he is actually in the pit lane. His thoughts, his opinions. Have a quick chat to him whilst we wait for the restart. Hello, Bailey. Welcome into the booth. Of course, you just had to you've just taken yourself a pit stop there. I heard through a little bit that you may have actually missed a shift on the previous restart, and that caused us to have another caution.
Yeah, I spilt my freaking latte in my freaking shifter.
Did you actually?
So I guess probably. I think that's probably what happened.
It's very interesting because I mentioned in qualifying that you drink lattes.
Yeah. I had one in the car with me. It freaking fell when I was on that. We were on that restart and It's spilt everywhere. It's still all over me. I'm trying to clean it up. It doesn't feel too good. So, you know, I'm stuck here in the back with hot latte all over me, and, you know, at least I got a new fresh set of tires, so there's that, but, you know.
Well, fresh set of tyres can possibly help you as well. Just seen that some drivers decided then to only come in after not pitting earlier on. Smathers has stayed out there, the only one who's actually stayed out to this point. Do you think there was any worth in those guys, well, namely Trey Martin, Justin Day, to come in now, or should they have just stayed out and seen if they could caution their way to the stage end?
I think they heard there was some free lattes down pit road, and they decided they didn't want to miss out on it. So, yeah. I don't know what they're doing. We were wondering what they were doing when they were staying out, so I don't know.
Well, we'll let you go, and we'll let you get ready once again. We'll speak to you, Latte Bailey. Thank you so much for
Oh, thank you.
We'll be back. As a back on the way once again, and his green flag running once more, and you see that Cody Pruitt is now we're trying to get past Zach Smathers up here. Further up the order, inside of the top 10, all four of the in-season tournament drivers are battling alongside each other inside the 10 here. You see Smathers, you got to take that pit stop, trying to cover off here from Kevin Rinker. Watch for Pruitt on the outside, trying to fight his way around as Magnus Anderson is now broken away. Lap 43 of 70 is underway here. We've got less than 30 laps to go to get us to the stage end. What is the fuel like for Smathers, knowing that he could go that little bit longer than the rest of the field possibly could have on their original run? It's going to be very, very interesting for the 5 car, and whether he can keep it all hooked up together, that's another story. Oh, you see him getting loose there across the tri-oval. He's trying to keep it nice and steady. Is Smathers as he battles here with Kevin Rinker. You see Mike Rinker in behind them as well. Your votes, well, the only 3 of you voted. Come on, get into the polls and we'll put them up. You think Mike Rinker, Zach Smathers, they're going to be the combo we're going to see in the final next week at Homestead. Very interesting combination. The other was Rinker or Smathers. Rinker versus Smathers. No one thinks McKellar is going to go to the final next week. Very interesting call. We'll see what happens at the end of tonight's race here out at Richmond. Maybe you guys know something that I don't. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Maybelline. Who knows? But it's definitely some support out there for Smathers in the hopes that he can get to the final next week. Fight either Kevin Rinker or Mike Rinker in that final for the in-season tournament. A little bit of position changing here for the back. You can see there's some scrambling for position as they just scrape the wall there. That was one of the days. That's Brian Day scraping the wall as Austin Stamper comes past him. Justin just behind him as well. So they continue to try and hold on to the pressure, hold on to the cars and keep themselves in a solid position. Keep themselves, obviously, in a solid, but beneficial position, we'll say, in a nice and tidy position as best they can. Steve Scarborough now on the outside of Todd Merkel, trying to fight here alongside him. We saw Merkel had some good pace in qualifying, has been struggling in the race. Looking behind them as well, there's Trey Martin, who's had good pace tonight as well. He wants to get that car back up into the top 10 if he can to get some stage points on offer for him. He's got to try and fight for this as best he can up the inside. He looks to this on Steve Scarborough. You see in front of them, there's the 4 car of Justin McCurdy. He's one of those cars that had he was the car that actually had the sympathy moment earlier on that brought out another caution as well. So that's all been happening. You see Charles Rinker, he's now past his brother Mike. Taking inside of the top 5, looks to try and get past Zach Smathers as well. Push his way forward here. The fresh tyre runners, they're going to give it a benefit here. Charles is one of them. He's taken those fresh tyres. See Henson, Day, Brannon, they're the other fresh tyre runners as well. So they've made the opportunity at a free stop worth it here, and they've tried to use their tyres to their advantage. We're only 4 laps away from what would have been the regular distance they would have gone on fuel, roughly 54 laps, if not for cautions and if not for pit stops. We've already had at least 3 cautions tonight. That has given us quite a few extra laps, knowing that we normally save roughly 2 laps on a regular speedway. Well, that means we had 6. That means we were only 10 away. If we save a bit more than that, though, on the short track, that's a count for 3. They might save 12 as the yellow flag is out. And a moment has happened for a couple of drivers further down the order. Trey Martin has dropped some spots here. I'm not sure why the yellow flag's out. I've had no incident reports, and this will be why. So contact between Trey Martin and John Roberts in towards turn 1-2. So Martin ahead. Roberts tries to go up the inside. Martin doesn't know he's there. Contact's made. Martin gets half spun back around. He's not going to be happy with that. Smathers is now committed to the pit stop, by the way, so he's now coming to pit lane to put some fresh tyres on board this car, but he's not going to get the benefit of it. This is going to drop him right down the order, knowing that he is pitted last out of everybody. Will he take tyres or will he only take fuel? Seems to be a tyre stop for him. A full service going on board this car possibly, or is that going to be it for Smathers? He's actually taking a longer stop, so I have a feeling that may be it for Zach Smathers. I don't know why. He's parked up and he is done at this stage of the race, unless he's got himself a penalty coming into pit lane. Nate Allen's exiting pit lane. He's got no black flags, so... Well, now he exits pit lane, so he must have had some damage he had to fix on board that car. And he wants to now exit pit road before he actually goes a lap down on the race leader, Magnus Anderson. Let's drag him in again. Just get the call here. Figure out why he's had to pit there and take that time in pit road. Welcome back in, Zach, very quickly. We just wanted to confirm with you, was that a fixing of damage pit stop for you there in pit lane?
Yeah, I forgot I had a minute of damage, and then the longer I went on, it felt like it. So I figure it's probably best just to gas up and get tires and fix that as best we could. So we got like 10, 15 seconds left, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it was noticeable how bad the damage was affecting the car late run.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that, obviously, because there was a longer stop. And wasn't quite sure why it was going to obviously longer, apart from the damage.
Yeah, it's from that first caution when I got into Paul and I think NATO and got into me. So I completely forgot I had it because we were running fairly well, staying up there in the top 5, and then just the more I went, you could really tell that it was dragging the car back. So
well, I suppose
fix it up and be good to go.
Well, I suppose for you've got to try and make the race end, not the stage end, and beat Rinker. I beat McKellar, sorry, at the race end more so than the stage end. So
yeah,
we see what happens. You'll obviously lose a couple of stage points here, but that's okay. As if you've got a strong car to the end, that's what's going to be important. Wish you best of luck, though. Get ready for green flag running once again.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you. So, hot restart once again. We're back underway. We've already got some moves being made all throughout the field, and we'll try and get some other drivers in tonight as well for some chats. The more cautions that we have, and that's going to be another one. Cody Pruitt has now gone around, and I believe Dalton Henson has been slowed up. Somehow did not hit Pruitt as he was sliding, by the way, as he was going through there. But this is now another caution. Let's watch this. Oh, you see Pruitt there just went right across the nose of Rinker, and there was actually some contact there with Henson and Pruitt. That could be big for the tournament. If that there is on Rinker, so let's watch this. So Pruitt comes through, and he comes up high. Comes up high on Rinker. That's his own fault. And then, yeah, Henson just held up as well. And you saw the evasive action of all the cars trying to go by. And just an unfortunate moment. It might be a good chance here just to actually ask Cody what happened. Just sinking in. Hello, Mr. Pruitt.
Yes, sir.
An unfortunate moment for you just then on that back stretch. Looked to be that just, well, there's a little bit of overlap to the car on the outside. He came on up and contacts made. Unfortunately, you've gone round. What was it from your perspective, though?
Yeah, I was watching Charles. He was coming around the outside, and I was focused on him out of my right, and I thought I had room to come up. Didn't think Rinker was going to be there, and I looked in my rear view, and he was there, and I was around. So unfortunate, but we'll get it back.
Well, it can quickly happen. This may cost you some important stage points here. Do you now change up the strategy for this race? Maybe try and focus up for the race result more so than the stage result now?
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna wait to get tires and just see how the stage ends up. I mean, might be another caution or two, might help me out. But yeah, ending is my focus right now.
We'll see if that can pay off for you. See if you can get yourself there. Tough luck on that incident. At least you've still got a straight car, and we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the next 100 laps or so.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much. Cody Pruitt there, driver of the 16 car that went round. Just then as well. Round and saying I was making pork belly. No shaming me or you get none. Okay, I'm not shaming you. I'm saying maybe for the other 10 people that could have gotten into the poll as well, could have completed their votes there too. We appreciate everyone watching along, of course. And thank you all so much for watching along with us. We want to ask you as well, if you are enjoying the show, please hit the like button and subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing if you haven't done so already. In fact, we run the chat and subscriber only mode, so if you actually want to get into the chat with us and chat along, then please click that subscribe button. You must be a subscriber for a minimum of 30 minutes before you can chat away with us out there as well. That's just as a way of trying to filter out, you know, some possibly unwanted guests in the comments, or people who may not really want to be giving the correct time of day to what they should be watching. So it's you know, to the real supporters out there of the channel, you guys get to chat along with us. You guys support us, so we support you with that privilege of being able to chat with us as well. 10 laps to go here in the stage. It's green flag once again. Lap 61 of 175. We're not even at lap 100 yet. We're not even at the halfway point yet. But what we've already seen in this race has been some intense action all throughout. Magnus Anderson leads the way at the moment for the stage. Charles Rinker, though, is wanting to get up into P2, but McKellar wants to put the sword to him, put the challenge to him as well. Not allow him to get this so easily. As they fight through turn 1, we can see that the sort of pressure that's being applied. As now Charles gets up into P2, gets past Will McKellar, and is still in behind Magnus Anderson. There is Bailey Brannon in behind them as well. He's fighting hard and strong back there. He'll have to tuck further back in though. Maybe reset himself for another run at some stage. Hot positions on the line. Hot racing on the line as well. There you see that Brannon just scrapes it up into the barrier and into the wall off of turn 2. McKellar and Rinker, though, they're not wanting to give this up. This is a fast and hard and intense battle. As Magnus Anderson sets the fastest lap of the race, 21.69 the last time by was his lap. That was a great lap time for Magnus Anderson. Let's run on board here with Rinker, get a bit of a bird's eye view, or a POV we should say, of the circuit. And there's a great circuit available to us, of course. Richmond Raceway, the 92 entry of McKellar has now allowed Brannon past him down the inside, so he'll have to push on as Brannon focuses up for the battle ahead of him with Charles Rinker as they fight for position, the teammates of the Bucket Motor Club. Continue to push on. Strong position here tonight as Magnus Anderson's having some bad blinking issues at the front of the field. Hopefully that sorts itself out. Don't want him to lose out on a race win or a race lead. But that is going to throw out some struggles to those cars behind him. They're not going to want to get anywhere near him. Can he survive the next 4 laps of the stage? That's the question. It's unsafe for him to remain at the front of the field. And we don't want him to get taken out of this due to some internet issues and some internet demons. We've seen it take out many a drivers here on the channel. Some real big name drivers that have been caught out by internet or PC issues across many different series we've caught here on the channel across our time period. If you've been keeping up with the V8 veterans as of late, the one that's really been martyred by it has been Todd Duggan. And we know that that's been absolutely heartbreaking for him and even for us in the booth, myself and Brett. And, yeah, for Magnus, if he were to lose his stage win and possibly the opportunity of race win tonight because of some internet demons and some issues, and that is not going to be helpful, and that's going to be a little bit heartbreaking, I've got to be honest. It's going to be a little bit heartbreaking for him if he can do that there. We see Hatch as well, his teammate, keeping himself tidy here actually. He's up 14 positions down to P12, and it's good to see that he's able to keep himself tidy tonight, although he's battling away here with Austin Stamper further down the order. and into just outside the top 10. This is all for P12. The P11, as Hatch is also now having some internet issues too, so that's not a good sign for him as we get to lap 71. That should end the stage. It does. Magnus Anderson has taken home the stage win. It's Charles Rinker, Bailey Brannon, the top 3. Will McKellar, Kevin Winker, Justin Day, Mike Rinker, Rob Stevens Jr., Damon Marotta, Todd Merkel. That is the top 10. But Magnus is your stage 1 winner. Unbelievable drive for him. It's good to see Magnus doing well on his run. Unfortunately, he's not available to us to bring him in for a chat at this stage. That's a real shame for him. Instead, let's bring in maybe Mr. Charles Rinker and have a quick chat to him here and just hear what it was like having to follow Mr. Anderson. We'll wait for him to get into the pit box first of all, before we drag Charles in. There he is there in the 8 car. P2 for the stage. Let's drag him in once he hops into the box. And there he is. Mr. Rinker, welcome in. Hello there. Welcome in, Mr. Rinker. P2 in the stage. Very quick stop for you on this time by. No tyres, it seems, after a full tyre stop on the first run through. It's gotten you some track position now, although for some reason John Roberts has decided to stay out. As a man who works with John Roberts, Charles, why is John trying to pull off this strategy?
I don't know. John does some John things, but yeah, I was trying to get that stage win there, but by the time I got to Magnus, it kind of burned everything up I had, and so we're gonna stay out here, hope for a quick couple cautions here, and then we'll change tires and we'll be on offense after that.
Well, how was dealing with the blinking of Magnus in front of you, because he was blinking quite significantly? Was that putting some stress into you?
No, I wasn't to him yet, so if I was to him and I was on his bumper, it'd be really annoying, but I wasn't directly on him yet, so no big deal, but I hope he can not have that keep going, or else, you know, penalties may ensue.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously now no stage breaks down to the end of this race. We're on a straight run for the next 100-odd laps. How's that strategy going to play out for you, do you think? I mean, you're just hoping for cautions. I mean, you said you're hoping for maybe a couple of cautions and put yourself back on the offensive with some new tyres, but you want that to kind of work out in line with the critical lap, don't you? Otherwise, you're going to be committing to extra pit stops, and that's going to be extra time down pit lane, which then cost you inevitably in the race.
Yep, the dream is maybe 10, 15 laps here, get a caution, get tires, go on offensive, and then maybe get a caution late, and then we'll all be on the same strategy, but we'll see how it pans out.
We'll have to wait and see. We wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for coming over chat to us, and great job in stage 1.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Imagine putting it back in the wrong channel. That would have been funny. John Roberts has stayed out. Opted not to come in under this caution. He's now the race leader, but he will need to pit at some stage. We do know this. Charles Rinker in behind him. We're back underway once again. It is green flag running here out at Richmond Raceway once more. As John Roberts leads, so Charles Rinker, Bailey Brannon, Magnus Anderson, Will McKellar, Kevin Winker, Mike Rinker as well. And there you see Winker and Rinker are in a battle for this position here in the in-season tournament. It's now on. We're past stage 1. We've got to go down to the checkered flag, and we know that these guys are going to battle it out. They're going to duke it out as hard as possible. You see as well, look at the scramble of cars in behind them. Unbelievable stuff. Seeing all these cars that have been involved tonight in a whole heap of different issues. One thing we do know is there's been a hot race, as that is Will McKellar. Will McKellar's off the road on the tri-oval. Will McKellar has been spun round and now gone straight to the back of the field. Unbelievable. And this is huge for the in-season tournament. He's now behind Zach Smathers. How has this come about for Will McKellar? Is that a netcode incident? No, he loses the rear off of 4. It is a picture-perfect representation of what happened to Ryan Hatch earlier in the race. And Will McKellar all of a sudden is now down the order as Damon Marotta as well is dropping. And that's going to be a caution. Marotta has been spun round. This is what happened to him. So down at turn, I believe that might be turn 2. Oh, rides it wide, straight in the barrier and a massive hit. And Marotta is now down the order and not where he wishes to be here this evening, I think it must be said. But that was a huge, huge moment and a massive ride for Will McKellar. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Trying to get on board with it. Trying to see what it was like. The wild ride for McKellar. Look at the wheel work to try and save it as well. You see there the wheel work of McKellar trying to save this thing, drifting it onto the grass. He kept it out of the wall. Great car control to keep the car out of the wall. And unfortunately for him, though, it's dropped him well down the order. And mistakes like that can be costly throughout this race. Rinker, by the way, is in pit lane now. So is Smathers. So is Marotta. So is Owen. So all those guys come into pit lane. Smathers will exit just ahead of Marotta, Owen. And Charles Rinker is having a longer stop here, and I don't know why. Interesting that he's had to take a longer stop. Smathers does an exit of pit road as Bailey Brandon's into pit lane as well. What is happening? More and more cars deciding to pit late here. We're only on lap 81. I mean, we're only a few laps after the stage break. I mean, I don't understand the thought process. It's tyres for Brandon, who will exit pit road. This is a very, very intriguing race, must be said. Very, very intriguing indeed. I mean, I don't quite understand what's going to happen. I don't quite understand. I mean, we know that Roberts has stayed out. Takes a very, very odd track position. Unsure why. Magnus Anderson, I mean, he's riding it out strong. Mike Rinker, Kevin Winker. That is still an enticing battle for the in-season tournament. And then, of course, McKellar and Smathers on the other side of the block. What a tournament battle that's going to be throughout the rest of this race as well. I mean, we've still got, you know, we've still got about 90 laps to go in this race. And it's already been so exciting. So exciting. I mean, we're not even at the halfway stage of the race just yet. Not too far away from it, to be fair, but we're not even at the halfway point. And it has been exciting stuff throughout. Magnus Anderson, though, gets us back underway again. Green flag once more here out at Richmond. You see Mike Rinker's now snuck his way forward and is up now into P2 as Roberts is beginning to fall on those old tyres. And the battles have commenced. Zach Smathers has now made his way past Will McKellar, by the way. You see Roberts there trying to battle with Kevin Rinker, but he's just unable to hang with him. He doesn't have the tyres under him. He doesn't have the possible ability under him as well. And Roberts is really in strife here of dropping many positions throughout this strategy play. Oh, we see there in the wall though, that was Robert Stevens Jr. Another caution is out. Oh, that's Will McKellar. Will McKellar has made huge contact with the side of Robert Stevens' car. Let's watch this back and see how this came out. So Rob Stevens riding along there. There you see Merkel to the outside. That was a very weird snap. And then watch McKellar come in. Bang! Straight in the side of him. That was a very weird snap for Rob Stevens Jr. I want to chat to him to get a better understanding of this. Rob, welcome in. Very sorry just to drag you in very quickly here. I know it's obviously a stressful and possibly arduous time for you. I need to get the thoughts though from on board the car. How did that snap happen? Because that almost looked like it was like a netcode snap, but there was no one around you. I mean, what happened?
From what I could tell,
it got a tiny bit loose, and it just kind of snapped up, and I touched the back end of, was it Merkel maybe?
I believe it was,
I touched
yeah,
his
yeah.
quarter panel, and then it just spun me.
Yeah. Because we have seen some spins down there tonight, down at turn 2. It was a really, really weird, like, just like little snap. And as it comes up, you just hit the rear of him and then straight in the wall. And then, I mean, Will McKellar out of nowhere, it's just smack bang right at the side of you as well, to absolutely hurting his car. Luckily, you had that fast repair available to you. I don't think he did, because he's in pit lane and he's actually having to fix his car. So luckily, if you kept it on hand, you've kept yourself tiny enough to have it in your back pocket. We've still got we're still now at the halfway point of the race. What's going to happen now in the second half? I mean, you're at the complete opposite end of where you were at the first half, where you're at pole, then in a P25. What's going to happen now? You're going to be at the other end of this race now that you're at this end at the end of the halfway point. I mean, are you hoping that might be able to happen for you?
I plan on trying to work my way back up front. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know how I managed to get that pole. I was like 16th fastest in practice, and something just clicked on that second lap, and I crossed the finish line, and I was in disbelief.
You found the magic you needed on that run, and it worked out for you in quali. But no, well, Rob, we wish you the best of luck. We appreciate you coming over chat to us as well, and hopefully you're not having to be back in pit lane after using that fast repair too.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's heartbreak for Will McKellar fans out there. That car is in pit lane and it's having to get fixed up. This is going to put him multiple laps down. And all of a sudden, those that picked Smathers to win that in-season tournament battle, you look like geniuses now, because now he's in a much stronger position than what McKellar is, of course, and he's laps ahead. McKellar is only just fixed the meatball flag. He's still probably got optionals to deal with as well. He's trying to exit pit lane now, but he's 2 laps down on the race leaders. Green flag once again. Magnus Anderson gets us back underway. And this is becoming a race of survival. There you see McKellar. He exits pit road right in front of the race leaders. But the difficulty is he's now 3 laps down on them. And will he ever get a chance to get back onto the lead lap in this race? Magnus Anderson fighting hard. Mike Rinker, Kevin Rinker, those guys are running strong. All Zach Smathers has to do now to win his in-season tournament battle is not give up the lead lap position. He just has to keep the car on the lead lap, and he will do it. This is going to be an all-time end to this race. This is going to be unbelievable. We're going to take a moment to give thanks to some of our sponsors, of course. By doing so, we're going to be heading off to the Rinker Construction Remodeling Crank It Up segment here tonight. We want to thank Rinker Construction Remodeling, RCR, for joining us this season as the Crank It Up segment as well. After which we're going to be going to a quick ad break as well, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly with more from High Side Motorsports. Retro 130 from Richmond Raceway. It's lap 94, 175. We've got 82 laps to go here in stage 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon here on Infinity Broadcasting.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
We now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Got a great car, great team. Let's go execute. Start time. We know what we gotta do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down.
The after checks are lit. Count out anybody who wants it the most.
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it.
Does he have enough? Holy cow! A dominant performance.
Gonna say no, baby. Let's go!
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody's pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Run here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, welcome back into High Side Motorsports Season 2 here for the Showtime Retro 130. Run to caution once again, and this is what happened to Jesse James. We were watching it during the outbreak there. This is a very, very weird moment up here. So it comes out of turn 2. We've seen issues tonight already. See there, bit of a wiggle. Someone scraped the wall higher up the order, but that's fine. So he had a little wiggle, then Hullet gets into the back of him, pushes him round, finishes him off, and into the wall goes Jesse James. Very, very odd moment. Very, very quick moment as well that happened. Let's put out the caution once again. That's going to allow William McKellar now to get one lap back on the race leaders as Bailey Brandon, Zach Smathers, Jesse James are all into pit lane. See Smathers there putting some tyres on board that car, maybe just trying to freshen up here for the end of the race. Brandon out of pit road in P23. Smathers though, I mean, he's doing everything he needs to. Probably would want to put some gap between himself and McKellar throughout the rest of this race, knowing that he only actually has 2 laps on McKellar, who is just coming out of pit road and just onto the back of the train here. He's on his 103rd lap. The rest of the field are on their 105th. So that is the position that he finds himself in at the moment. Still 2 laps down on the race leader, Magnus Anderson and Kevin Rinker. So tight battle for the A side of the block here as Rinker and Rinker are both within the top 5. The B side of the block is a very interesting one because Smathers has got to keep himself on the lead lap, make sure that McKellar doesn't get back on the lead lap, and he'll be fine, all sweet, and everything will be smelling like roses. McKellar has to get back on the lead lap, and he has to try and get past Smathers as well. That is going to be a tough task for him. As we're back to green flag running, we've got 69 nice laps to go here. Little salute to those out there who know, if you know, you know. 69 to go here out at Richmond Raceway, which has already been an exciting race thus far, an intriguing one all throughout. You see Todd Merkel there putting the pressure now on Kevin Winker in behind. Brian Day though, massive incident further back, multiple cars involved, and he's just driven straight down on the bottom of the racetrack, right in the way of another car. What is happening back here that has caused this ruckus? So Trey Martin's come up high, clipped him, forced the contact, didn't hold brakes, and it has all come loose. Further down the order, meatball flag for him as well. You see Kevin Winker's now into pit lane. Very interesting call. Brandon's in. Of course, Linger, Owen Smathers, James Day are all in. I mean, they all caught damage off that incident. So they've all now got to try and get their cars fixed. It's a very, very weird moment. Let's watch this back. So, well, obviously, so Martin actually got contact then from Marotta in behind him. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that then. Trey Martin actually got some rear end contact, very minor, from Marotta, and that may have actually forced him up high and then into the contact zone with Day. And you see the contacts made and unable to hold brakes because I think trying to pull the thing up is like trying to pull up a boat with a piece of paper as an anchor. It's very, very difficult, and if not impossible. The car's around pit lane though. Smathers is out. Linker, of course, had that pit stop. The difficulty for Kevin Winker is now he's put himself in the danger zone. He's put himself in the danger zone in terms of where you don't want your car if you're battling hard with someone who's up the order. You don't want your car down the order, A, because you don't want the poor track positioning, B, because of that track positioning, you don't want to find yourself in a position where you can now get caught up in incidents because you're in a much higher percentile of being caught up in incidents down the order. And that's the balancing act that they've got to try and employ in this race. And for Winker, that is not the place he wants to be to do so. Magnus Anderson, he sits strong in P1 at this stage. Todd Merkel back up to P2 where he started this race. What a drive from Merkel to get back up to where he is. And what a drive for Mike Rinker. He's kept himself tidy. What a drive for the likes of Ryan Hatch, John Roberts, and Dalton Henson. They've all driven so well. I mean, Ryan Hatch has been super clean all throughout this race. I don't even think he's been involved in one incident. It's been great to see. So for Magnus now, P1 on the road. Can he get that third win of the season? This would really boost him up the order in terms of the championship for the chase. He'll push on. Green flag once again here at Richmond. Back and racing. 64 laps to go. Lap 112 of 125. We're only about 8 laps away from critical lap here tonight. It is lap 120 which we're aiming for, and that's Cody Pruitt in the wall! Cody Pruitt in the wall hard on the back stretch. Contact with Scarborough. And was that contact? Who was that contact with for Pruitt? See him riding. Oh, just came up high. Self-clears across the nose of Scarborough. Hatch actually had nowhere to go then. Very interesting position that he was in, but he couldn't do anything about it. But that is a massive one. And then I think it was Jesse James. So he took evasive action to James. And was driving along. Oh, Scarborough's just come straight down across his nose and spun himself around as he's trying to come into pit road. What are you doing? Not even checking if anyone is around him. Mike Rinker now in pit lane. You see Hullett's in, Linger's in. Scarborough, James, Hatch, Pruitt. It's an early stop. I mean, they're still 7 laps away from that critical lap. So, a very interesting strategy call for some of them. As Pruitt, with that meatball flag, is now in pit lane. What this will do is, though, it's now going to get Will McKellar back onto the lead lap. So all of a sudden, Smathers has now got some pressure because now McKellar is on the lead lap and able to pass him for position. So it makes Smathers' life a hell of a lot harder now. Throughout the rest of this race, of course. Not to mention he's got Kevin Rinker just ahead of him, who surely is going to want to try and make this difficult for Smathers, knowing that Rinker's teammate is trying to beat him. Time will tell. Time will tell what will happen. We will see how they go. Magnus Anderson at this stage, running strong in P1. It must be said, is in a hot start position tonight, of course, off this restart. I mean, good points have been on the board already for Magnus. But that stage win, of course, that'll help him in the chase coming up. This strong end to the season could be one that puts him in possible championship favour. Is the momentum swinging the way of Magnus Anderson? Can he find himself in peak position to set himself up for a championship? We've only got 2 regular season rounds to go after tonight. What's that going to be across the next 2 weeks before we get into August? Green flag once again, 59 laps to go. Lap 117 of 175. We're 3 laps away from critical lap here tonight. So if we get a caution in the next few laps here, we're going to see drivers come down pit road knowing that they can get home on their fuel. They'll know they can get home if they pit and if there's a caution on the next run around. They fight for position once again. You see that Magnus is just trying to hang on to this thing. Trying to keep the car under him. And trying to push on to the end of this race. Got some Dayan behind him. He's running strong. Merkel, Stamper, Harris, Roberts, Dalton Hanson. Oh, there's been contact in behind. Is this going to be a caution? It is going to be a caution. And look at that, it's a car park. It is a car park down there. Zach Smathers is one of them that's been spun around. What has happened? This is massive. Oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? That is so messy. Oh, they all just pile on in. And that's meatball flags for a lot of cars. Okay, so we're going to try and see. We're going to try and break this down. So let's go a few cars forward. So who was that up the road from them? Is that Charles? It's Charles Rinker. So we got Trey Martin on the outside. Charles Rinker. So Trey gets loose. Makes a bit of contact with Charles. Okay, so that's fine. So that's on Trey. Rinker then puts him into the wall from a slight tap. We then have to look for Bailey, who comes in. Gets a tap from Rob Stevens Jr. and McCurdy. Gets tag teamed into the side of Trey Martin. Smathers is now caught 3 wide with Stevens alongside him. And then just contact from Brian Day, who just comes ploughing through for about the 4th time tonight. And then Smathers gets hooked up and around and into the line of fire of the cars oncoming. I mean, look at that. There's about 10 cars there. that have just come ploughing in because they haven't been able to pull up. I mean, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable that we can have an issue where we have an incident and a car has just plowed through without even thinking to slow up because there could be a caution coming, and it causes something like that. I mean, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable that that can happen. Race control has had a look. Apparently Trey Martin has been given an incident, a penalty for that one. So we'll get the interesting position this has now put us in. Kevin Rinker's now the race leader. Very, very interesting. They're back on the green once again. As they're back on the green, you see Rinker now pushing on. And see the scramble of cars in behind. McKellar's now back up into P2. Who would have thought that would have happened when he was 3 laps down? Look at Pruitt. Look at Rinker. This has been a race of attrition and a race of comebacks all throughout. There's McKellar pushing on here up in P2. You got Pruitt, Rinker, Magnus Anderson, the top 5. Pit stops have been made, but for Rinker and Pruitt, they've stayed out, as did McKellar, as did Rinker. They all need another stop, as it's yellow flag once again. Caution's out. Scarborough's up there in the wall. Brian Day as well, who's been no stranger to the incidents tonight. But has he been the culprit, or was it Scarborough? It was Scarborough after contact. But I think, was that Nate Owen? I think Nate Owen has drilled the back of him and put him up in the wall, and that's brought out this caution. The Scarborough's now had to come into pit lane. Get that car fixed as best he could. So Kevin Rinker, Will McKellar, Cody Pruitt, Mike Rinker, they've all stayed out after pitting on lap 113. Ryan Hatch has done the same thing. The issue for those guys is, though, they're going to have to try and fuel save now thanks to some cautions to get those cars home. They're not going to have enough just to try and run green in the end. Kevin Rinker's playing a very bold strategy of trying to get his car home. He needs a fuel stop at some stage, and you would suspect, being that he pitted on lap 108. Get home from this point in time. So for Rinker, he'll have control of the field. He will be racking up obviously a bonus point near for leading a lap at this stage of the race as well. Magnus Anderson, I believe, has already gotten the bonus point for leading most laps tonight, so then that one's not going to be taken away from him. Vincent and Smathers now into pit lane once more. For Rinker and McKellar, these guys pushing on and trying to push their way to a race win here tonight, or a possible in-season tournament win for both of them. Of course, the teammates came on as a part of 325 Racing for this season. Their team boss is in behind them in Mike Rinker. Zach Smathers, unfortunately, the other competitor, is now down the order tonight. And for Kevin Rinker, he preps himself up now for the restart zone. McKellar alongside him. Pruitt, Rinker, Anderson, Hatch, Day, Merkel, Stamper, Mercer. That is the top 10 for this 14th restart of the race. It has been a tough, tight race tonight that has not been helped by the incidents that have happened on track thanks to the difficulties of Richmond. The difficulties within this car, the issues with this car that it has at the moment here on the iRacing service as well. It is something that is proving a challenge to drivers out there as we're back under green flag running once again. Kevin Rinker gets us underway. Mike Rinker trying to go right at him again and battle here on board their in-season tournament. Will McKellar trying to stay with him. 45 laps to go here at Richmond. And they fight for maximum pressure here tonight. As Todd Merkel has had a moment down the order. Blake Holden as well. That's going to be another caution, possibly. No. We'll stay green and clean, but no, we won't. What has happened up ahead of them? That there is Stephen Linger who's gone around. What is happening here up at turn 1 and turn 2? Unbelievable. Linger's gotten himself a meatball. And it's with Damon Marotta and Justin McCurdy. So has Linger come up high on him? No. Marotta's just tucked him straight on the rear bumper and put him up in the wall. And that is a disappointing end to what can only be described as a disappointing day for Justin McCurdy and Stephen Linger. Both of them in pit lane. They'll both be trying to get their cars fixed up and get those fast repairs on board if they haven't used them already. Linger hasn't used his yet. McCurdy can't even get back in pit road. Linger hasn't even used his yet. Linger's now out of pit lane. He's got the meatball at least sorted, but he hasn't got all the damage sorted, I would say. This has been a wild race thus far. 15 cautions across the 135 laps. Unbelievable here tonight. 15 cautions for 59 laps of 135. So we've at least gone green for more than half of the distance, which has been good to see. 135 or 175 here tonight. Drivers running really well, really strong. Keeping themselves in a perfect single line of stern as they prep for the double wide restart momentarily. And it has been a feisty race to this point. Really strongly contested. And for drivers to try and keep themselves in the championship fight, in the possibility of getting into the chase, but also in the in-season tournament standings as well. They've all had to work hard all throughout this race, all throughout this season, and keep themselves in that proper position of benefit. Rinker and Mike Rinker, the A side of the block battle here tonight for the in-season tournament. They're going to lead us off the front row. Restart is underway. Lap 137, 39 laps to run of Richmond Raceway. Will McKellar well clear of Zach Smathers right now. Can he hang on to that advantage as Bailey Brannan's now in the pit lane for the black flag? Drive-through penalty for Bailey Brannan, possibly for jumping the restart, although he did cop a penalty from race control. I think they have determined that he deserves further penalisation. pushing on. It's great to see John Roberts battling with Nick Mercereau. See Magnus Anderson, he's starting to make the moves up the order once again. Brandon's now out of pit lane. And a lap down on the race leaders. And Magnus Anderson is pushing hard here, fighting for this spot. With Will McKellar all for P2. And Mike Rinker's got to get a move on here. He does not want to allow Kevin Winker to run away from him. And Kevin, of course, it seems, is trying to run that alternative strategy that we've seen from him in the past. The alternative strategy of trying to fuel strat his way home from extra laps behind the critical. Create his own critical, if you will. And just critically acclaim himself a race win to boot. 35 laps to go. Unbelievable race thus far. Great to see all the action happening. Brian Day still running down in P19. Todd Merkel in home though, fast up the race. 21.58. The last time by for Todd Merkel. It's a great lap time on board that 2 car. Shows why he had the pace to put it up into P2 here this evening in qualifying. Last lap by was only 1/10 slower, so that is matching pace whenever I have seen it. Magnus Anderson though looks to go for the race lead past Kevin Winker. And now the fuel save is going to start to hurt Winker here. He's not going to hold himself strong in a race winning position, knowing that everyone else can push on from critical lap and he has to try and fuel save. That's not going to help him. That's not going to put him in a race winning position. And that is going to offer up the chance for him to possibly knock himself down the order and knock himself down a pick as well if he's not too careful. And for Magnus Anderson, well, it's business as usual. He doesn't have anything to worry about other than make the chase, other than get a race-winning position of points in his championship standings. Oh, that's a big caution, and that's Mike Rinker. Mike Rinker's gone right up in the wall. We saw him cross the circuit at the bottom end of the camera. And this has brought out the caution. What has happened to Mike Rinker? He had Pruitt on his inside. Net code contact. Wild ride for Mike Rinker up in the wall. And that has really spiced things up. Rinker's now down the order, outside the top 10. Possible damage on board that car. This is seriously becoming a race of attrition now, as McKellar and Pruitt have had to commit to the pit stop. They don't want to try and fuel save. Kevin Winker has stayed out. Is that going to be the nail in the coffin? He's trying to fuel save this car an extra 12 laps to get it home. 12 laps, would you be kidding me if he made that happen? The problem for him is, though, he's having a fuel save. Everyone can get home. Everyone can push on. The only other car that can't is possibly Nick Mercereau, who put it on 1:14. Although he only needed three cautions, and all of a sudden, mathematically, he could do it. For Winker, though, what are you doing? Like, why? This is really, really weird strategy. Ryan Day, Blake Hullett into pit lane. Steve Linger exits now as well. This has been such an up and down race. So odd. So up and down. What more could you ask for in terms of electricity, in terms of excitement, and in terms of big season implications? You think about the implications this may have on the in-season tournament. You think about the implications this may have on the chase, and actually how this is going to change some of the drivers' perspectives going into the chase. We've got some tough tracks coming up. We've got Chicagoland, not going to be all that all that easy for an intermediate circuit. We've got Watkins Glen. We've got Bristol, Phoenix, Charlotte. Not going to be an easy run of 5 races. Plus, you've got Homestead and Dager next to 2 weeks. The next 7, they're going to be ones you don't want to miss. They're going to be ones you're going to want to keep an eye on. And they're going to be races that are going to really throw a spanner in the works. Here we go. Restart zone once again. Oh, a bit of door banging off the restart, though, for Anderson and Rinker. That's not going to go down well. Bit of door banging between them. And Anderson is immediately going to cover the inside. Watch to Charles Rinker in behind them, though. And Anderson's going to try and give him some cover and give him some help. Pull him along, get him ahead of Rinker. And maybe Charles is going to help his brother tonight. Maybe he wants his brother Mike to go to the final. Oh, incident once again. Another incident has happened here. What has happened further back? Who's had the incident? I think it might have been Stephen Linger or Mike Rinker on his lonesome. Let's try and get a view here. If any of them had contact. It was Mike. Self-clears on the nose of Brannon. And up in the wall he went. And down the order he went as well. We're going to take this time to go for a quick ad break once again. Rest ourselves up. Get ourselves a little drink. Get our mouths and voices prepared for the end of this race. We have got less than 25 laps to go here out at Richmond Raceway. Don't go anywhere. Back very shortly after this quick ad break. Brought to you by iRacing and Maconi.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
We now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Time. We know what we gotta do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
We'll fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down.
Anybody who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory, this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
That flag is going to end it.
Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You gotta say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody's pushing as hard as they can in one final shot.
You gotta earn this thing right here, Indiana.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Driver, start your
Back to green flag racing here out at Richmond Raceway. 20 laps to go here in the Showtime Retro 130. It's the final 20 laps as Mike Rinker's back in pit lane for his drive-through penalty as he was found at fault for the previous incident. Stephen Rinker, by the way, has just gotten a meatball flag. That car is absolutely destroyed. That car is destroyed. Should be a caution. What has happened to Stephen Rinker? That car has got massive damage on it. We have to go back here to find out how he's got this. This is very, very weird. Oh, it's already broken. So it was already broken to that point. Very, very weird for Steve Rinker, who's in the pit lane. So Magnus Anderson now leads the way. Zach Smathers and Will McKellar are alongside each other on track with 17 laps to go. This is going to be an unbelievable prospect in terms of an end battle here for the B side of the block. Oh, McKellar though gets it loose up at turn 4. That's not what he wants, because he knows that he has to beat Smathers right in front of him. 16 laps to go. Unbelievable storylines have been happening throughout this race. Both of these drivers have been through pit lane with damage. Both of them have been down the order and battling their way through, and it has been a comeback cause for storylines of the whole night. And what a race this is now going to be with 15 laps to go. Kevin Rinker is clear of Mike Rinker and should be moving on to Homestead to fight in an in-season tournament final for the second season in a row and defend his crown. But is he going to be defending it against Zach Smathers, or is he going to be defending it against Will McKellar? Because both of them are battling hard here. Smathers caught on the outside. McKellar now gets down the inside of him. McKellar with the much fresher tyres than Smathers, though. Remember, they're about 18 laps the differential. And Smathers now caught on the high side, trying to get this car turned in, trying to get the most out of it, and keeping the tyres under him. 13 laps to go. Is it going to be McKellar and Rinker, or is it going to be Smathers and Rinker battling it out at Homestead, Miami for in-season tournament? Wonder as Smathers nearly puts it in the wall back there, and now McKellar up the inside of Marotta, trying to fight his way forward, trying to fight hard for this. They keep themselves within the pressure zone. You can see as well further up, Magnus Anderson's now broken away from Kevin Rinker. He's got Charles Rinker on his rear. Charles on the tail, battling it out with him. An unbelievable storyline tonight in this race for McKellar, who's been caught in the dramas. For Smathers, who's been caught in the dramas as well. Oh, you see Marotta there, just scrapes the wall off of 2. What's going to happen in the final 10 laps? It's 10 laps to go. Will we get overtime? Will we get anything that will throw a spanner in the works late in this race, or is it going to be green flag to the end? Are they going to push to the checkered flag? Or are they going to maybe push the limits too hard and force an incident, force a caution, and force you to make a choice? Whether you come in for fuel or whether you come in for tyres. That is the question. Kevin Rinker, by the way, is still out there. He's still trying to fuel save this thing from lap 108 to the end of this race. And with 9 laps to go, he is trying to fuel save it to the good. The lucky part is for him, he's 10 laps ahead of Mike Rinker, who still has a black flag. So that's gone for him. Pruitt's slapping in the wall. That's massive contact with Scarborough. Marotta's in the wall as well. This is huge. Merkel, look at that damage on the front of Merkel's car. Multiple meatball flags. What has happened to bring out this yellow flag, though? So let's watch this back. So Pruitt on the inside of Hatch. Pruitt comes up high. Minor contact with Hatch. That's okay, but it comes down low on Hullett. Hullett and Brannon have to slow up. Oh, look at Scarborough straight in the back of him. And then it must have been Merkel and Marotta were on their own. They were in a separate incident altogether. And they were. Smathers was in the middle of this. Oh, that's a massive snap from Marotta. Smathers nowhere to go. Merkel right in the back of him. And what sort of damage has that put onto Zach Smathers' number 5 car? What damage has it put onto it? And can he contest and challenge with Will McKellar here? Can he contest with him? He's got his teammate to back him up. He's got Paul Harris there to work with him. Paul's got to try and support his teammate here. That's the job he's got to try and do, is support his teammate. Help push McKellar back. Get his teammate in front if he can. This has been an intriguing race all throughout. One that I hope you're all enjoying. I know it has been a big caution fest, but the racing we've had has been epic. And the pressure that this race has created, the pressure that it's put around them, and that it's bubbled around them with, has been unbelievable. The championship storylines, the championship implications this race has had has been huge. And one thing I think we have to look to now is what sort of storylines are going to come out at the end of it. Once we get back to green flag running, it's going to be a push to the end here. But how are we going to get there? Who's going to get there? How are we going to be able to push these cars to their absolute limits? But what sort of limitations does the season have? What sort of limitations do the drivers have? What sort of pressure can they withstand so late in the race? That's the test that's now on the line for them. For McKellar and Smathers so close together. Smathers has the upper hand. He has a teammate with him to help him in Paul Harris. And if Paul clues into this and clues into helping Smathers here, he'll hopefully, for their sake, be able to slow up McKellar, pull him back, allow Smathers pass, and just hold him back as best he can. That really could be the team play between the both of them. Pace trucks in though. Magnus Anderson has control of the field once again. Through the restart zone we go. We're back under green flag running once again. Green flag. It's a hot restart. And Magnus controls the way. 3 laps to go. We get a caution. We're going to go overtime. If we don't, it's going the distance. Who is going to reap the rewards of Richmond? Who is going to be crowned the king of Richmond, as well as Ryan Hatch, Dalton Henson have gone into the wall. Both of them went the whole race, kept it clean. And both of them have now found an incident together late in this one. A mirror image of drivers who have driven so well together throughout this race. Let's see what happened here. Contact from Brannon into Hatch, and then serves him up in the wall, and Henson had nowhere to go. That's on Brannon in that instance. And that should see Brannon with a penalty coming his way, and it'll be a 3rd penalty tonight, which is quite a significant one. As Hatch is now in the pit lane, unfortunately for him. But this now resets us and re-racks us for the next run. It's big pressure. Big pressure to those drivers. Give me goosebumps. Give me absolute goosebumps in this one. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a huge end of this race. A huge end to the semi-final portion of the in-season tournament. Pushes on to the finals for next week at Homestead, Miami. I mean, this is exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. I mean, unbelievable. It's the emotions are building up within me of anxiety and the goosebumps that I've got on my arms right now. I run my hand across my arm and I feel them. I feel the goosebumps. I feel every little bump across my arm. As Bailey Brannon has now been disqualified. Bailey Brannon has been disqualified from the race. I don't know what's happened, but he has been disqualified. And that might be because of the 3rd cause for incident. So Brannon is gone out of the race. And that is going to hurt his championship standings. He was in the top 5. That's going to be no points on offer for him. And possibly a round ban for next week at Homestead. This is huge for the chase. Absolutely huge. Mega. Absolutely mega. And one thing we're going to be questioning after this one is now completed. And I tell you what, that's not going to be a room he wants to be in. As we're back to green flag running, it's intense, it's 2 laps to go, it's overtime. 178 and 179, and watch for Rinker here, trying to go for the race win. Past Magnus Anderson in the dying embers of things. It's unbelievable, and it's an unbelievable storyline tonight. Kevin Rinker's into the race lead. White flag's out, final lap of the race. This is it, final push to try and get yourself into the final of the in-season tournament. For Smathers and McKellar, they're trying to fight hard in behind. Anderson and Rinker trying to fight hard for the race win. Anderson's ahead, Winker's ahead. Both of these drivers have got the most wins this season. One of them wants to be a 3-time winner. They're side by side, they touch. Magnus Anderson takes home the race win at Richmond in an unbelievable result. Anderson takes it home by 0.05 of a second over Kevin Rinker. Justin Day comes home P3 ahead of Charles Rinker. Will McKellar will move on to the final next week out at Homestead, Miami, as Zach Smathers has unfortunately been knocked out of the in-season tournament. Stamper in P6, John Roberts, Paul Harris, Nate Owen, the top 10. The final for next week is Kevin Rinker and Will McKellar in what is going to be possibly an all-time classic. You cannot miss it. Homestead, Miami, in-season tournament finale. Man, could you have asked for any possible better end to an in-season tournament? I mean, this is going to be an absolute all-timer, it must be said. An absolute all-timer. We'll get your race results up for you in just a moment's time. And this, I mean, what a race it has been. What a race. I mean, what a season we've had thus far. And what a final to the in-season tournament we are going to have next week. I mean, couldn't have asked for a better ending. Really couldn't have. We'll get the post-race results for you in just a moment's time, as everyone has come down pit road in what was a very, very interesting race, it must be said, all throughout. Early cautions brought us in for a little bit of intrigue, brought us in for a little bit of excitement as well. But ultimately, what it's brought us is, it's brought us that little bit closer to a very, very interesting end to our season, and a very, very interesting end to an in-season tournament next week. This is going to be exciting stuff, I'm telling you right now. We'll have to quickly drag in some drivers to come and have a quick chat to us as well. We'll see if they'll be willing to come and have a chat to us, obviously. They have to be willing. We can't force them. Oh, yes, technically we can, but not always. Have a quick chat to our... We'll have a quick look at our post-race results. So Magnus Anderson takes home the race win after leading the most laps tonight ahead of Kevin Rinker and Justin Day on the podium. John Roberts, most positions gained tonight. Hard Charger award goes to him. Most lap set, of course, was Magnus Anderson. Todd Merkel had the fastest lap. Robert Stevens Jr. with the pole position. It was Charles Rinker ahead of Will McKellar for the top 5, with Austin Stamper, Zach Smathers, John Roberts, Paul Harris, and Nato in the top 10. Finishing ahead of Blake Hullett, Steve Scarborough, Nick Mercer, Dalton Henson, ahead of Jesse James with the top 15. Brian Day, Cody Pruitt, Ryan Hatch, Damon Rodder, Justin McCurdy for the top 20. Great race for Ryan Hatch, by the way. Really, really clean. Hopefully we see more of that in the future. Trey Martin, Todd Merkel, and Robert Stevens, Mike Rinker, Stephen Linger, and Bailey Brandon disqualified at the end of the race. Will not get any points for this round, of course. We've got drivers to speak to who are waiting in the waiting room. First of all, we're going to chat to P3 on the road here today in Justin Day. Let's drag him in for a quick chat. Justin, welcome in. Congratulations. P3 on the road today. Tough race for some out there. One that was really a race of survival. How was that one for you, though, here at Richmond?
It was a tough one, man. It was not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
That's right. I mean, it's a race that really put the sword to a lot of drivers, put a lot of strain on some drivers' championship positions as well. Do you think now this is going to have a big effect on those chase standings? I mean, next week, obviously, Homestead and then Dagger. Both of those races are very likely to have a cause for drama for some drivers in the chase. Do you think this one, though, is going to be one that's definitely put a few tears on the board and maybe opened up a few wounds as well?
Yeah, Dega and Homestead's a little more technical, but Dega's kind of a gamble on how good you can do on a night at Dega, you know. So this one, it's definitely going to bite to not have a good finish tonight. I think this was one that kind of is going to fly under the radar that will come up later and bite you in the butt.
Well, I mean, thinking about where you currently sit in the standings, I'll just bring up the standings for myself so I can read them again. You know, obviously you've been within the top 10 now. P7 coming into tonight's race. This is obviously a great result for you. With Brannon getting DQ, this will probably push you and Mike Rinker being down the order result. Yourself and Magnus have probably actually both found yourselves now in the top 5 of the championship. Does this change up the strategy now for the next 2 weeks, or is it just going to be continue as you do and see what happens?
No, I mean, the strategy is always the same. I think it's just go out here and try to do the best we can do, and hopefully we have another couple good nights like we've had tonight, and we'll see how the chase goes.
Well, time will tell, Justin. We wish you the best of luck over the next 2 weeks, and I believe next week a good result will lock you into the chase as well. You're pretty well ahead at the moment. This will put you up above 50 points above the cut line, so a good run next week will get you locked into it. But we wish you the best of luck at Homestead. And in the chase, if you do manage to end up there as well, we appreciate you coming and have a chat to us. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just the Hammer Down race team, the family at home watching, the admins for putting on the race, and you for broadcasting.
Thanks so much, Justin. Appreciate your time, and best of luck across the next few weeks. Justin Day, P3 on the road today. Well done.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Next up, we have P2 on the road and into, for the second season in a row, the final of the in-season tournament. Kevin Winker, welcome in. 2 finals for the in-season tournament for you. This time, though, you're not going in as an underdog. You are going in as what could possibly be the bookie's favourite in this one here, Kevin. A strong race tonight. An unfortunate one for your team boss, Mike, who handed it to you. And one that was quite scary on the other side of the block as well for Will McKellar, who had quite a few incidents and had himself 3 laps down. What was the feeling like in the team room throughout this race? Because I have a feeling it was almost very roller coaster-like for you guys figuring out who was going to be in the final next week.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly thought me and Mike would be, a lot tighter. I mean, obviously he had these issues there at the end, but once McKellar got whatever his issue was, he just kind of kept battling back. He's resilient. I said to stay with it, man. The long race, we got this. And he stuck with it and beat Zach. Zach's definitely a hard one to beat. Sometimes people think of him as an underdog and stuff, but he definitely can be a tough one to beat there. So props to him for putting up a good fight. And then I hate it for Mike. I thought him and I were gonna have a really nice battle there, towards the end, but then he got called on some penalties or whatever, and had to drive through and after that. But yeah, I mean overall, it was a good point night. Got I think 3rd or 4th in stage, second in the race. Magnus definitely had the car to beat here. I know there's a couple kind of gray areas on the restarts there, where people saying I was laying back and getting in the leader, but I don't know. Me and Magnus there, we race each other, real good, and I didn't mean to do anything. I actually thought he spun his tires in the last restart, but we kept it clean, and I'll just wash it up. People are gonna say what they say, but me and Magnus, we're good. So, but yeah, overall, another good night, another good point night for tonight. 2 races left into the chase. I'm pretty sure we're locked in, and
You are now.
gonna focus.
Yep.
And then just gonna focus on Homestead, which I said at Kansas I wasn't really a favor of it. But now I guess I got to be a favorite because I got to go try to beat my other teammates. So it's definitely going to be a tough one there because I know McCuller's pretty good at saving tires. So we'll see how that goes.
Was it now 3 races in a row you've had to, or 2 races in a row you've had to beat your teammate? Now it's going to be a 3rd in a row you've got to beat your teammate. Again, so
Nick, Mike, and now
now Will. But
we'll see.
But yeah, this result locks you into the chase. I believe it also locks Will into the chase as well, because I believe he's now above 92 on the cut line, which he needs to be above, I believe. He needs to be above 120, so we'll have to see what the points look like after this one, but he'll be close to getting locked in. Same for Charles. Obviously, Charles is going to be close to being locked into the chase now, so you definitely are the first driver to get locked in. Obviously, your points are going to get reset, but stage points, they're going to be a big factor for that as well. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, the one thing I will say, so Kevin, strong main season, that's one thing. You've then got to have a strong run in those last 5 races, because without having you can have the greatest season across the first 11. The final run home, you could have some absolutely dog terrible runs, and all of a sudden it's over. It's very, very quickly. I saw it happen in another series only this past season. This guy dominated the regular season, had 2 poor rounds in the chase, and it was done. He couldn't win it in the final round. So, you've got to try and take the sword to them every single week. You can't afford to drop anything. So I wish you the best of luck. It's not going to be an easy thing to do as the championship leader and as the heavy favourite in those final 5. But I think Magnus is going to try and have an answer for you now that he's in the top 5 of the championship after this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of lucky he's not in the in-season tournament, because he probably would be battling me next week. But yeah, I'm trying to rack as many points as I can, because I'll be missing Phoenix. I think, or one of the races I'll be missing in the chase, so that really puts me in the hole already, So I'm trying to gather as many extra bonus points as I can, so I can hopefully offset that deficit, because I'm basically gonna have to. Well, I'm only gonna have 4 races, and everybody else gonna have 5. So I definitely gotta be in my A game, those other 4 races. So it's definitely going to be challenging. But I'm looking forward to the challenge, and looking forward to next week at Homestead. Hopefully we can get back-to-back in-season tournaments here. Otherwise, if not, McCullough will get it, and it'll still be 3-2-5. So, yeah, just as always, want to give a shout out to Bruce Muhlberger. Muhlberger Custom Homes come aboard and sponsor me in all my leagues. I know he's watching tonight, so shout out to Bruce. Winker Nation that came out tonight and was watching. Can't thank you guys enough for coming out and support me in the chat and watching the race. Hope it was a good race. All my boys over at 325, we just mesh so well. I can't thank them guys enough for the camaraderie and the teamwork that we do. Obviously Mike didn't get the result he wanted. I think Nick came back for a decent finish after his issues. I'm not sure. He got 13.
So down 9.
So
but,
he came back, and obviously McCullough. So just shout out to those guys. Every week they're a blast to race with. They're just love those guys. So shout out to those guys, and then shout out to all the league admins that put this on. Charles, Zach obviously is gonna be leaving here for a little bit, but he'll be back. Mike, Bailey, all them guys. This is a great league to be part of. I love this, and now that we got that Friday Arca League too, which has been fun. This thing's really taken off. So hopefully we can be on the up and up. The next couple years here with that, and. Last but not least, we appreciate your broadcast, man. I'll go back and watch it, and you do a great job with everything. So keep up the good work, man.
Thanks so much. Appreciate your time, Kevin. Best of luck next week in the final of the in-season tournament, and we wish you the best of luck as the first locked-in driver to the chase as well. It takes the pressure off for Talladega, I suppose. So means you can roll out there and just see what happens at the most dice roll of a race the whole season we're going to see. But yeah, thanks so much, Kevin. Best of luck across the next few weeks, and best of luck when we get into the chase as well.
Sounds good. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, you too. And finally here, be careful of him because he loves to bang the walls and he loves to bang your mums. And it is Magnus Anderson out of P1 for his 3rd win of the season. He did a little bit of banging there towards the end there, Magnus. Saw some door banging between you and Kevin. Kevin's obviously said you guys are cool, and I would assume you were going to say the same thing. But you're out there having a good time tonight and paid off for you with another race win this season. And now, top 5 position in the championship as well. That's got to feel good.
No, me and Rinker aren't good. We're gonna fist fight in the pits after this. No, I'm joking. No. I took a look at it before you got me in here, and I like to straighten out the car into that restart zone so I can get the best launch, and I straightened it up a little too much, and Rinker was right there, and he has every right to try to hold me up, and I have every right to hold him down, and we met in the middle. And that kind of screwed up the restart there a little bit, but we got going, and I was like, okay, all I got to do is on the last lap, I need to open up 1 and 2, and I need to dive 2 short, and I'll get a good run off, and I can keep beside him or pull a little bit in front of him, and if I just hit 3 and 4 perfectly, I should beat him. And I was right. I definitely had a lot of wheel spin off of 4, but so did he, and it was a good race. It was definitely pretty fun.
So obviously next week, Magnus, all you have to do is really finish the race, and you're locked into the chase. You have an opportunity though to still challenge for top 2 in the championship. Now, Kevin is locked in to the chase now. I mean, he's on 192 points above the cut line, so there's no way he can't drop out. It is classified him as locked in. But a strong run next week is going to lock you in. It's going to lock McKellar in. It's going to lock Rinker, Charles in as well. That top 4 is getting pretty tight, and probably helping you and helping the other 2. The fact that Bailey got DQ'd tonight, and he's possibly got a round ban. He has to check his license points, possibly with a round ban next week. He is in trouble of actually getting knocked out of the chase before we even get there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know what happened behind me, so I can't really speak on that. But Bailey's a good driver. He needs to calm down a little bit, in my opinion. But hopefully he doesn't get a ban for next week, and he can be out there racing with us. But
speaking of drivers who calm down from their time away, Ryan Hatch. What had a change.
He had a really good race going, and
very unlucky that he got caught up in an incident towards the end.
Yeah.
Apart from that, he had a very, very clean race, and probably one of his best drives, I think, that I've seen from him as well.
Yeah, he kind of just jumped in a whim, so he didn't have a lot of time. And I didn't have a lot of time to work with him either. But, Ryan's at some tracks, he's just as fast as me. So other tracks, he's a few tenths off of me. And this is just one of those tracks that he's just a few tenths off with me. Especially with this setup, it felt really loose on throttle, and you couldn't attack the corner as hard as I'd like. But, he had a really good race, and I'm happy for him. I'm hoping that he comes next week, because Ryan is... You thought I was good at running the boards. Ryan is better than me at running the boards. So that'd be really cool to see him at least get a win this season. I think he might be unable to get into the chase. We will see. But it was good for him. It was a good race for him.
So,
I think he salvaged an okay finish.
Oh, so looking, Mac, did you just play the hello there soundboard, or did Charles join in and leave?
Mr. Charles joined in and left.
So looking at the points at the moment, he's not locked out of the chase yet, but he's 44 points back. So he would need a significant finish next week, and then a significant finish at Dega to get himself into the chase. But it's going to be hard for him to win from 12th.
I also wonder if they didn't put his provisional points in, because if they put his provisional points in, what is that, 15 points? Because I think he had 2 provisionals. Besides the race that he got DQ'd.
No, he was banned from Kansas, so he doesn't get points.
Yeah,
in Kansas.
but we had
Sonoma.
Sonoma.
Yeah,
and if he had his So I think he would have had 15 points. So he might have been like 27 points behind on the cut line. I don't know. I'll have to ask them.
I don't know. But still, I mean, he's not too far away, but pretty. I would say that the more than likely that those that are 17th or above can make it. I think everyone below 17th is going to be a pretty hard task for them to make it at this stage because of the points differentials and everything like that. But no, I mean, you know, you're only one race away from locking yourself in, Magnus, which is a great result. I mean, based on the fact of you missed a month of racing and you've been just so consistent and so clean that you've gotten yourself up there. It's been a great run, and yeah, we look forward to seeing how you go when we're racing next week at Homestead, and see if you can lock yourself into that chase format once for this season.
Hopefully, my only goal tonight was to get a bunch of bonus points, so I can take those into the chase and be a little bit closer to that 42. So we're not banging doors at Charlotte trying to win a championship. So,
well, to be fair, he is going to be missing Phoenix, so he's trying to get bonus points so he can offset.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I wish he could have made Phoenix, but I mean, he could still win it. He's really fast. I love racing with the guy. He's like Ryan Newman to me. I feel like he's really hard to pass when you're behind him. So,
well, we'll see how you go. Magnus, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, Hatch Industries, Hatch Plumbing, Hatch Hatcheries, Vermont Community College, Racing Boys, my mom, my dad, my fiance, Dale Earnhardt, Leonard Skinner, and Dirt.
Very good. Very good. Well, Magnus, best of luck next week out at Homestead. We appreciate your time coming over, chat to us, and I think more than likely we can say best of luck in the chase in a few weeks' time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Magnus. Appreciate your time.
Yep, bye.
The character as always, Magnus Anderson. But we appreciate everyone joining us here tonight as well, watching along with us here out at Richmond Raceway. It is leading us into a very intriguing final for the in-season tournament next week at Homestead, Miami. Couldn't have asked for a better finish. Rinker, McKellar, 325 Racing. Bring it all on the line at Miami Speedway in Miami, Florida. It's going to be a grand finale for the in-season tournament for the ages. Rinker goes to his second final in a row. Can he win it for the second season in a row, or is McKellar going to be the heartbreaker for the Rinker Nation out there as well? Only time will tell. Big shout out to all the series sponsors, of course. Maconi Setup Shop, Rinker Construction Remodelling, LifePath Realty, serving the greater Atlanta area, as well as Safe Electric and Plumbing, callsafe.com. Us here in Infinity Broadcasting and Blackheart Designs as well. You can find us over on Trading Paints at Hamish Munro, or message me on Instagram at HM_Injexion. That's at HM_INJEXION, or on Discord, and we'll get you sorted with the paint with some great deals on board for you. You can help support us here in Infinity Broadcasting by clicking the like button, to subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on the channel. Coming up next for you on the docket, Saturday evening, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We go racing with the Simrigs V8 veterans once again for Season 28 in the Split 2 action of Round 5 out at Phillip Island for their halfway point of the season. That's going to be a hot one to watch. You don't want to miss it as Stuart Hall and Stephen Kokoschke continue to battle for the championship in the V8 Supercars in Split 2 over there for V8 Vets. I've been Hamish Munro, though. This has been High Side Motorsports Season 2, Round 9, live from Richmond Raceway for the Showtime Retro 130. We'll see you guys next week out at Homestead, Miami for the Frogman 150 in the final of the in-season tournament. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys then. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
mistakes. It feels like the whole world's watching every move that I make. Another sunrise, another warning, but I'm still learning how to hold the line, how to quiet down the noise inside. And the moments slip away when I forget what I need. So I steady up my hands, let the rhythm set me free.